all goes well, she'll be sliding into her chair in a few seconds or a few minutes before go time.
Okay, so what do I do?
Nice.
Morning.
Nailed it.
You got a heads up.
You won?
I did.
lost.
Seriously, I was going to be here 10 minutes early, and the dang dog brought me his leash.
When did you get a dog?
You're apparently not reading.
I'm not. I haven't read it in a while. My bad.
Counties 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of doggy is this?
There's also a betting pool on that. They just do this and then mess with you? Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah, they're, yeah.
All right.
Yep. I say medium size.
Seriously, there's about 6 different guesses. Pitt is the only one that's universal. All right.
Pretty much always say that.
Good morning, everyone. My apologies for the late start. It is, although the clock says it's 9 o'clock, so apparently I'm on time. Welcome to the Tourist Development Council today, official meeting. Today is July 8th. It is 9 a.m. And which of my fine board members would like to give the invocation?
I would.
You're amazing, Max. Thank you. And then we will do the pledge.
God in heaven, known to us all in different ways, we're gathered together to do business for our county. We stand in the shadow and gratitude for a wonderful 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of July where patriotism and fun were had, and we ask that that sort of events that took place are what we bring to our county in the portfolio of what we do. It's the summertime, and we're praying hard that we lose no businesses, we lose no jobs, and we're postured for a rebounding fall, both with the attitude of our folks and the readiness of our business. And we ask that all we do today is to protect the way our county is in so many good ways, and at the same time, grow tourism. And God, we also, some of us are hurting. He called home Judge Tris Thomas, and it wouldn't be right to not thank you for that example of leadership and stewardship, and especially humanity. Thanks for putting her on the earth, and we'll get by. We ask all the blessings and give our gratitude in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
You, anyway. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now that you opened that up, I am, when I did my campaign kickoff in February of 2020, I was a complete political novice, and someone, a leader in the community, came to me all excited and said, recently retired Judge Trish Thomas was coming to my kickoff. And I'm like, who? who's that? Like, totally clueless. And I just remember her being an incredibly dignified, intelligent, lovely human being at my kickoff. And somewhere after that, our friendship grew and grew and grew and grew. And she and Susan Gill were my ride and dies in the 24 reelection. They are two of the finest examples of human beings to walk the earth. And Trish collapsed in January, and this was a quick end, and I am absolutely devastated. And with that,
She
gotta
was
get back.
the first judge, female judge, and the first female Rotarian in the county.
Yeah, she was a trailblazer. Roll call, please.
All right. All right, today we have Ray Smitherman.
Here.
Michael Mankey.
Here.
Tracy Wood.
Here.
Max Shulman.
Here.
Tom Craig.
Here.
Holly Davis.
Here.
And Chris Ensing.
Here.
Absent are Nancy Desai and Luann Jacobs. And we have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by
Next.
Max and a second by Tom, and I don't have a pen if staff can throw me one. Took it out to write a check yesterday, and it never made it back into my purse. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Approval of minutes.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Michael Mankey, second by Tom Craig. Any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, open to the public. If anybody would like to speak, you have 3 minutes on the clock, and we're grateful you're here.
Morning. My name's Greg Hoying, and I'm here representing the Floral City Business Association. Okay, this is a fairly new organization, but we've got some big dreams, big plans that we would like to convey to you. Anyways, in our last meeting, which was Monday, July 6th, we had a presentation put on by Gordon Meyer of the Friends of the Withlacoochee State Trail. And he told us some things that I found extraordinary. For instance, he said it was the second largest, it brought in the second most tourism in the county, which I found unbelievable. He also said it also brings about $40 to $50 million to this county. So as we were discussing with him, we in the Business Association were talking about creating events to, enhance this, and that's why I'm here today. Mr. Craig, I'm sure can verify what he said. He told me you're very involved with the Friends of the Withlacoochee State Trail. Anyway, I would also like to say I look forward to working with this board and attracting tourism to our area. Excuse me. The Tourism Development Board was created to increase tourism development in Citrus County, and I think it's been very effective. But it seems most of the attention is towards the West Coast, Homosassa Crystal River, and rightfully so, and to a lesser extent Inverness, but Floral City, it seems, has been neglected. We're kind of a backwater. And I'm here today asking the board to consider expanding its focus to our area to bring more tourism, because it's such a beautiful area. The small businesses in the area have been struggling to bring, business, especially in the summertime when, tourism is at its lowest point, it seems. I have today a copy of our bylaws, articles incorporated and whatnot, and I'd like to share this with your group if you so thank you. Also, I look forward to working with this board. I've spoken with Avis, and he is going to set up a meeting with us. And hopefully, we're going to have a bright new future with you. And in closing, I just want to say Floral City now has a new motto: small town, big charm. So thank you very
Love
much
that.
for your time.
That's great. I
Mr.
love it.
Hoyne, thank you. It's always good to see you. And we look forward to additional collaboration with Floral City. I will say that we have gone out of our way to make sure that we cover all 4 boroughs, as it were. So literally right underneath Discover Crystal River also says Homosassa, Inverness, and Floral City. And it's been a big push on this board. We can't make stories up out of whole cloth. You have to have something to promote, obviously. And with that, your association, that hopefully that's going to become more and more powerful, that we have more and more to promote, you know, because it is absolutely oh, you found the magic button. It's absolutely a stunning area of our county, and it deserves to be on the list. And, you know, the Duval House, et cetera. I know we promote Duval House.
Yeah, I would say we spoke earlier before the meeting, and we're definitely going to set up for them to come by the office and have a sit down. You know, that Floral City is definitely one of the most charming places that we have in the county. And I know we've recently done a WFLA commercial out there, and I know Nick and Steph, we were out there for like 8 hours, actually in Inverness and in Floral City, so and promoting some of the places there. So, but there's definitely a lot more that we can do, and looking forward to partnering with you in the future. So, should be a good time.
And speaking as a 36-year advertising copywriter, you nailed the tagline. Well done.
Oh yeah, very good.
Very good.
Good job.
And it's 435,000 people travel that trail every year, and revenues vary, but it was 63 million, and it's not to the county alone. It's all the 3 counties, 63 million in benefit, 800 jobs. It certainly brings it in. And in Inverness, we have a difficulty converting that 500,000 people to business, but it's taking signage and other things involving the downtown businesses in what's going on in the downtown Inverness events to try to get people to come back. Come into the. They usually just speed right through on their bikes, so it's a challenge to get them to stop. But if we get a campaign to advertise what Floral City has for people, maybe they'll read that before they get on the trail. Mm-hmm. Great, thank you.
And Max and Tom have a whole series of guides on various outdoor recreation in Citrus County, so Max is another big resource for you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Steve Ponticos, 50-plus year resident and business owner in Citrus County. I'm here because 2 years ago we opened Stillwater Preserve and found our guests were paying money into the Tourist Development Council. So they've spent about $100,000 over the last couple of years, and talking about budgets, wanted to know where the money's going. So, I've talked to Avis, we've had groups, we have the Homosassa Council, and trying to, just like the comment, see how we can get tourism to the areas, especially come after April 15th until October 15th, our area is dead. And how do we increase it? So we saw the slogan, Discover Crystal River, so Nancy and I decided to play tourist in February. We actually went on the internet, rented a kayak, and went up to Crystal River to discover Crystal River. So we rented a kayak. We got there about 9, 10 o'clock, went on the water for 2.5 hours, and it was jammed. Thousands of people. The Welcome Center was jammed, the park was jammed, the river was, the waterways were amazing, manatee everywhere. And I told Nancy, I said, wow, we've been discovered. Crystal River is there. And so we got done, and we decided to get lunch, so we said, let's go to Lollygaggers. And so we went to Lollygaggers, which is right next to the Welcome Center. Thousands of people. And yet we walk in the door, and it was dead. Nobody inside. 12:30. Nobody inside. We sit down. We said, are they open? Yeah, we're open. We had lunch. And I started laughing. I said, wow, this is trunk slammers. That's a golfing term that golf clubs use when people go and play 18 holes and they put their clubs in their trunk and leave and don't go in the clubhouse and spend any money. We saw buses, we saw groups. We are a destination, no different than a cruise line selling ports of call destinations. Thousands and thousands and millions of people go to Orlando and Tampa and Clearwater where they're doing all their advertising, and yet they will come here. But what I'd love to know, and I don't want to be argumentative at all because it's not it. You guys are volunteers, and I understand. But we have a $2.8 million budget, I understand. There's got to be accountability. If I was having my business and I went to my board and said, I need $2.8 million, what are your revenues going to be? So we have a responsibility to prove that there's over $2.8 million coming back into this county and how it's going. That's just all I mean, I would love to see some workshops. I would love to see to get the business owners who actually have been here to get involved. But just a comment on one person's experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sure. Steve and I, we've met a couple times, and from the RV, he represents the RV community. Actually, much more than that, with homes and everything, et cetera. But I've spoken to Ray this morning, and I know Ray's going to mention some things about some rallies and everything. But I think there's an opportunity here for us to figure out some incentive packages, like we're going to do with small meetings, sports events, and things from the RV resort standpoint, like rallies and things, because they do obviously spend money, and that's something that we can easily do in regards to figure out how we can support our resorts, or especially the larger ones when it comes to things of that nature. In regards to the tagline or the kayaking situation, I mean, yeah, it's hundreds and it's thousands on the waters, clearly out there, and where they're going, they do stay the night. We do have buses and stuff, and I don't know, how much the restaurants are, but I do know from the figures that we have restaurants that have 50% or 50 cents on the dollar are coming from a visitor. And we have numbers that support that, or I should say analytics that support that with a couple of ways, with geolocation and credit card spend. But I still think, even listening to Steve's comments, I think there's still opportunity, for us to do even more. And those are things that, we're always, our doors are always open for things of that nature. But in regards to a return, to be honest with you, of the $2.8 million from a collection we do, I mean, we are over $400 million in visitor spend. So there's definitely return as far as return on investment. So I stand by those numbers, and I'm very confident about that. But again, with that said, I would like to expand our portfolio and how we attract and recruit people to stay overnight, because that's how we're 100% funded. So whatever we need to do to, obviously increase our occupancy rate, which I'm sure Michael Mankey would love, increase our RV spots being sold, which I'm sure Ray would love as well, and Luann as well. We can do that. And I think we have some solutions to do that. And I think one of the solutions is to go after some of these events and incentivize these planners, whether it's meetings, sports, and or rallies and things of that nature, to give them that incentive to choose us over another place. I mean, that's the end of the day. I mean, it's a competition out there, and we're all competing with the same business, but now we're putting together the strategies to recruit that.
Which restaurants do you know off the top of your head are getting 50%?
Yeah. So, for example, let's talk about somebody in the unincorporated area. Ubiquitous Crumps. I mean, we can look at some data there, and at times they're between 43 and 57% of a visitor spend, and it's kind of crazy to see some of the numbers like that. So when people say, hey, we want to limit tourism and we don't want as much of it, you got to be careful what you ask for. But I know
Crumps is also very much a visitor destination.
Yeah, it is,
because it's on the water and it's beautiful, and Lollygaggers is much more, I think, of a local.
Yeah, I know that Bayside, well, the former Bayside Craft Kitchen, now Riverfront Social, Waterfront Social is another one that we can have. It's called POI, Points of Interest, that show us where it's, almost like a 50-50 split or 60-40. Even if it was 60-40 visitor, 60% resident, I mean, that's still a huge share. I mean, on the low end, you got to keep in mind, we're about 25% of all spend comes from a visitor and a local visitor. From a visitor outside of 50 miles, it's about 15 to 17% on an annual basis. That's of all spend. But when you're dealing with restaurants, lollygaggers, I can't speak for what lollygaggers is exactly bringing in, but I know there's some challenges, with, of course, the Welcome Center and the parking situation as well. And that's always been a thing, too. But, that's kind of like with the city, not to put the city on front, on blast here, but the city has done an amazing job. Crystal River has done an amazing job with the Welcome Center and bringing all those people here. But unfortunately, when it's so crowded and it's so attractive, businesses in that particular corridor, the Sherman-Williams, lollygaggers, and it's not just them. They have. It's been a challenge with the parking situation. So I think that's some of the issues too they face. But that's kind of beyond tourism. But
I've seen some Facebook posts,
yeah.
lollygaggers.
And Steve is correct. I mean, 100%. We definitely do have buses coming in here, with the brown bags, and they're coming in and then they're leaving. We can't control that. But at the same time, Steve, what we can do is we can control our messaging and we can make sure we're more intentional in ensuring that people are staying the night. Looks like Michael want to say something. I can tell. Okay, cool.
Yes, I do, but I won't.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm gonna speak up when I get a chance, office.
Sure.
And I'd like to after you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just lost control.
Yeah, sorry.
Who was first,
Madam
Tom?
Chair?
Yes.
Steve, see what you've caused, Steve? This is your fault, okay?
I think it's what you're working on now is the local day trip type of people that we hear from.
Yep.
Homosassa Distillery in Homosassa and other people. And it's a quandary because the money that we have to spend is from overnight stays.
Right.
But that we do have a big day trip
Of course.
number, and how do we deal with that? And not deal with it. How do we spread the money to direct people to businesses on a day trip?
Oh, 100%.
It's a tough thing. It's what we were talking about with Floral City and with Inverness and the trail. How do you get 500,000 people a year to go through that Inverness-Apopka trailhead to come into downtown Inverness?
Right.
Obviously, they're not all coming because we're
And
not
a lot of
swamped.
communities have those, a lot of communities have amazing attractions, right? And they're all thinking the same thing. Okay, hey, once they go inside this park or this area, how do we get them to not just go to their car and go home, but stay, eat, and play, right? Not to steal the thunder, but we just had an amazing session with our agency yesterday, Mouse Partnership, who you'll see here shortly. And they understand the importance of capitalizing on, that local drive market. But at the same time, as a TDC, I have to remind you, we are 100% funded through lodging tax. So, it's not like we can spend money within the 50-mile radius. It has to be outside the radius. And even when let's just say it's 51 miles, there are outliers. People do have staycations, and that's important. So we do nibble and dab in those environments, but at the same time, it's such a small percentage of those people who are staying. However, we do know that Tampa and Orlando represent a huge opportunity for us. That's why we're at the Zoo Tampa, doing those activations and things of that nature. But it's more than just the advertising on that piece too. It's a piece of the pie. The piece of the pie. Excuse me. There's 8 slices to a pie, right? Each slice is a little bit different. Different size, shape, and character, and even taste. It's also about product. We are really excited because we're developing more product now. We have something that's going to be launching soon in August, so stay tuned. But these products that we're going to be launching are specifically geared to engage the local businesses to where they can capitalize on not only the visitor, but also the resident, which I feel like is a forgotten art in this world of tourism. So we're doing our best, understanding what state statute allows us to do within those parameters.
Yeah, that's why it's a quandary.
Right.
Who's next?
I guess I'm just confused as to where, I'm one of the newest board members here. So basically, the TDT brings in tax dollars, beds and head. And, you know, this past weekend, we had 54 campers in our park, which is a lot for our summer travel. 51 of those were within a 50-mile radius. I'm confused on this 50-mile when this was developed, because you say it's a small percentage, but if we can double that percentage and double that percentage, you know, bringing our locals in here to stay in the RV parks. Alvis and I talked prior to the meeting about bringing in more rallies. Ourselves, along with Sweet Citrus, had two of the biggest rallies here in the spring and April. They had over 400 campers. We had 176 campers in our spot. All those were TDT money that was coming in. We need more of things like that. We need more rallies, more people bringing in heads and beds, you know, to bring in money.
Sure, and I agree. I'm gonna let Terry speak in a minute. And Ray and I, we spoke earlier, and that's something that we can help strongly in is the incentivized packages of those actual rally planners. Because we'll treat that, you know, from my background, from a convention and small meetings, destinations, and sports background, those are groups, right? And those are easier to capture because, you know, you're now putting together a group type of business and you're recruiting that. And that's business that we all love to see. You know, you got to keep in mind our market is we're a 90% leisure market. So capturing certain numbers are a little bit challenging when you have a leisure dominant market. But when you kind of get into that more group setting, you know, we can be more targeted in regards to how we go. So we can definitely help along with that. You know, in regards to the 50 or so spots that were sold over the weekend, over the holiday weekend, that it sounds like there were more so local people coming into your resort. I mean, I don't want to use the word outlier, and I think they are important. By the way, we appreciate them doing that because, you know,
Very
that's
important.
that's, you know, that 5% is what we're collecting on. You know, it's just we're not, from a state statute, to be clear, we're not able to you know, have an ad in the Chronicle and say, hey, come in to our RV resorts and stay, you know, because, you know, we'll be marketing to our own resident. You know, the goal is to get people to come in from the outside to stay. Now, granted, it sounds like there's some more local people staying in your particular resort, but, you know, from a totality standpoint, the way the state statute is written, it's such a small percentage. Not to say it's not important. I think there's some things that we can capitalize on there. It's just, you know, from a advertising standpoint, we're not able to, you know, put a billboard in front of our welcome center or right there on 19 to say, hey, come and stay here when you're already here.
Can you
that makes
explain the
sense.
50-mile radius?
That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Get a copy of the statute
Right.
and provide it to the board members that may not have seen it before, and they
Sure.
can read it themselves before they speak out of ignorance all the time.
Yeah. So, yeah. So,
That's not a bad word. That's, you
Yeah.
don't know.
yeah. So we can do that. It's in the folder. Oh, it's in your binders actually. Yeah. So yes, I forgot about. Thank you, Christina. So in the binder in the state statute, you know, when you're marketing and advertising, everything is funded from a 50. Let's just call it 51 miles out. Is how we do it. And keep in mind, we are 100% funded. Like, I wish we got tax money from restaurants and things of that nature. That's just like an added bonus. So, but we still support our restaurants. But when we're advertising and marketing, and then you'll see when Miles comes up as well, we try to hit. Of course, you're going to hear Detroit, you're going to hear Atlanta, you're going to hear the Chicagos and Grand Rapids and places like that. But we also know that Gainesville, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, the Tampas or Orlando's, they are just as important. But we're just limited again from us. And this is not just a state statute, guys. This, TDC. This is a national thing, you know. So this is, by the way, this is nothing like just only Florida or only Citrus County. I've been to 3 or 4 different states working in different Florida. It's the same thing, and it's the correct thing as well, because you do not want to recruit. I'm not trying to recruit my neighbor who may once every 3 or 4 years decide to stay in a hotel because they want to do a staycation. That's not where the money is. Our bread is buttered, you know, by getting those people who really don't maybe not know what we have, or to promote what we're trying to promote in regards to the destination, whether it's, you know, the events, it's the seasonality of our destination, which we depend highly on, and that nature. I'm sorry. I know Terry wants to talk too as well.
Okay. You will find out too in our upcoming PIT meetings. We attend the Hershey RV show and reach out to you there. And we attend the Tampa RV Super Show in January. I think many of those rallies come from those type of events. I know that Sweet Citrus Acres has a bigger booth area than we do. They have a 10 by 20, and it's this big, huge thing that they do. And then, but you are welcome. Any of the RV parks are welcome to come and be a part of that. Reach out and take your brochures if you can't have a staff member there, that kind of stuff. That's where those type of things can happen. I would also like to add on to the 50-mile radius thing, which goes back to the first two gentlemen who spoke. You don't see the things that we do in our marketing and our advertising because we don't do it in market. So it's there, and I'm happy to share with you what those things are, and you're going to hear about some of those things today. But it kind of makes sense that you don't see what we're doing for you all when it's not on your TV and it's not on your computer and it's not on your cell phone. So I get that.
And I'll add just lastly, just to kind of put it to rest a little bit. I do believe there's also opportunity in a lot of co-ops. Speaking of the RV, like the RV shows that we go to and some of the other consumer shows, I would love to partner with some of you all as partners to really go to these shows in a more grander scale. I think there's an opportunity. I mean, I think Michael will attest to this. We've done some things together from the hotel standpoint, and I'm telling you, it works. We were just in Fort Lauderdale together. He represented, several of the hotel properties. But to have that partner along with the VCB is a game changer, because now we can talk about the destination, about, hey, this is what you're going to get, and then the partners are there talking about their individual products. So we can do that, and those are things that we can foot the bill for. So we can take care of a lot of that, and I think there's huge opportunities in something like a Hershey or a Tampa show, or if there's shows that, Ray, you say, hey, you know what, guys, I feel like this is a great show that we need to be at. Well, then we're all in. Like, let's talk about it and let's go in together. So, like, this is nothing about we're not trying to work together. So we can.
Well, I'm excited about the rallies because I think we need to talk about that. Because
we can do that. We can do that.
You bring 7, 8, 9, 10 rallies in a summer.
Let's do it.
Gosh,
let's do it.
I mean, that's going to be big for Citrus County.
I'm all in.
So,
all in.
Anyone else?
I two sides. First of all, as a member of the volunteer part of the team, I would like to say we're really lucky with the professionals we have and the job they do. But on the other hand, there's a whole bunch of things that work against visibility. And the first thing is, this is the biggest crowd I've seen, and I think this is as many as I've seen in one of our meetings in the 3 years I've been on the board. There's also, like all government, we're controlled by sunshine laws, so we can't do a lot of coordinating beforehand. There are growth areas that I personally would like to see would be our Chamber of Commerce doing more to explain what's going on. But I'd also like to see us grow, like many other places, have a 501(c) that supports tourism. So what people care about gets resourced. And unfortunately, the focus is very much driven by bed tax. And that is not how you take tourism. It's got to be a holistic thing that's done by the entire community, by your Chamber of Commerce, by volunteers. We have very little volunteerism that goes on to support tourism, because we have a lot of people in the tourism business, and they don't want to go volunteer or do the same thing that they work. So collectively, we can do better. Our strategic plan is a big step towards that. Our county strategic plan is a big step toward that. But until we get more involvement of people that don't come once every 5 years or never come, and that track the issue and make sure the folks at the next level up. This board only makes recommendations to the board, and they make decisions. So we're here trying to do that. The professionals that work day to day are very much driven, unfortunately, I think, by the mindset of bed tax is what pays for everything. I personally see it. The county is what pays for everything. The county takes the money in for the bed tax and then pushes it your way. Sometimes they have more money than that they can send. We're doing better on the number of folks we have, but And overall, we're going in the right direction. But folks have to be involved and consistently involved. And then I think until we grow a 501(c) here, we're not going to hit the levels that we need to hit.
And real quick, I just got an email from a concerned citizen. So as a reminder, and they made a good point. Like, does anybody watch any of our YouTube channels, our social media channels? Because when I say the influencers from the RV side, from Floral City to Homosassa, I mean, Nick and Steph are simply amazing at what they do. And we are 1,000% highlighting the entire county. Like, I mean, I go days when I don't see them in the office because they're out flying a drone or in an airboat or under the Avenue of the Oaks or at a resort or shooting a commercial. You know, it's definitely there. So I challenge you all to, and this is a self-plug, I challenge you to like, subscribe, and share.
Can I ask one question? The 50-mile radius, if Nick, and I like what you do, is going out and doing that within 50 miles, how does that go against that?
Yeah, because that's
How
not
does that work?
paid. Those you talking about paid media, paid advertising.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Because his is within 50 miles, so.
yeah. So
Stays.
Okay.
yeah. So
People within 51-mile radius don't stay here.
so we're gonna promote like okay. So it's not like we're not.
Stayed in our park.
So hold on.
We had 52 in there this weekend.
Yeah. So we're
within
yeah.
50
This
miles.
is okay. All right. So I'll clear it up. So social media, our job from a social media standpoint, and Nick and Steph, they are designed to go out to the businesses, go out to the destination, and just talk about the amazing things, show people what's really cool about us, what makes us special. Okay, that's what you want us to do, right? And then that through our channel, which has over about 300,000 followers, that is received. And then people are like, wow, you know what? I need to actually go there. That's just one part of us promoting the area. Then the paid advertising and commercial piece is something totally different. Apples and oranges. It's elephants and giraffes. You know, it's that different. You know, but so that's the goal. You if you didn't see any social media about our destination or any promotion or cool videos and things, then you know what? You would have a right to come in here and yell and scream at us like, "What are you guys doing? We're doing exactly what you want us to do."
I think the point though is y'all punch way above your weight when it comes to the outreach to people who come be tourists. But there is a natural, anywhere, but especially in Florida right now, there is a natural animism against tourism. And there's, in terms of visibility and getting the word out on how this flow through of money comes from tourism and all the benefits of it, rightly so, y'all haven't been the ones that are blowing your own horn and saying that, but we've got to find a way for people to know how much we gain from tourism, that it's not what's changing the county as badly as many people think.
Well, the YouTube videos promote locals. Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's 1,100 per household per year saved on taxes.
Well, it's we did a reanalysis. We're a little bit over $500 is what it looks like from a conservative standpoint. And with our last
per
report,
individual.
It's from an individual. You are correct. But you're talking about 7,000 jobs. You're talking about over 37 million in revenues. I mean, it's
Talking about punching way above our weight on for foodie.
yeah. And listen, and
Quality of our restaurants is
yeah,
way
and
better.
guys, I hear you loud and clear. Listen, we're not up here trying to say we're not perfect. And I think there's definitely room for improvement, and we're always going to say that as a team, as a unit. And we'll continue to evolve. We used that word a lot yesterday. We're going to continue to evolve within the constraints that we're allowed to do. It's that simple as that.
All right, we should probably keep moving. Anything else? No? Anyone else want to speak it open to the public?
Morning, everyone. Al Pasquale with Discovery Map of Citrus County. I'm kind of like doing what you guys are doing. I've just got over the threshold of 250,000 maps distributed. I distribute inside and outside the county. I go out to the Equestrian Center down to Weeki-Washi, go up to Cedar Key, and my newest, I haven't done it yet, I'm going to start distributing in Gainesville to try to bring those people down. The purpose of the map is to get people here, one. When they're here, see the map and see all the businesses that we have in the area and try to keep them here or have them discovered so they can come back down. I get a lot of feedback from people in the town and in our area as to how to better the map, and I take all those, and every time I do a printing, I try to improve the map every time. With the last printing, which was a couple months ago, of the map, I just got delivery of another 150,000 maps. We launched an app for the map that they can go on there, they can get the map, it's geolocated, so it tells them what businesses are on the map that are near them. And as they scroll down, if it runs out of people in our area, it shows the next map over. It was launched in North America, so every map throughout the whole United States, Puerto Rico, Mexico, and Canada are on there. So people that are using it, when they go to a new area, tend to look at it, and if they've been using the maps. The map franchise has been around for 50 years. I have a map that's almost 30 years old that I've been using. That's what launched me on this campaign to start this map here. A lot of great feedback. I walk into the equestrian center and they're like, great, we needed some more, you know? Or people come in, hey, or they'll text me, bring me more maps, I ran out, or I'm running out. So it's well received and is being used. So I'm glad that, you know, it's finally, really gotten some feet under it and people are looking for the maps when they come to town and stuff.
I would say this, the one thing that upsets me about this gentleman right here is his maps, his brochures are gaining popularity where they're rivaling our stuff. I'm joking. Man, listen, this guy is he has an amazing product. We support him. We're actually one of the sponsors in the map because he legitimately drives across the state of Florida, I feel like, and delivers thousands and sounds like hundreds of thousands of these maps. So we appreciate him. He's a good partner to have, and excited to work with him.
I want to say he's also a good partner in that as he delivers that great product, he volunteers more than anybody I know. When he's passing maps out, he's also helping us put up the tents when it's the outdoor expo, and he's sitting at the booth so we can get a lunch hour. And the way you do business is really great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's always good to see you here. Mark,
Good.
did you want to come up? Someone was coming up. No? Okay. Closed open to the public. And presentations.
Malice Partnership.
No, it's Grant.
Oh, I'm sorry, Grant. I'm sorry. Audra, excuse me.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us. So we have these little mini grant proposals that the TDC allowed us to apply for, and we would like to market our Crystal River Nights concert series outside of the county and get up into Gainesville, Ocala, get out into counties surrounding, because there's a lot of things happening where people are coming here from the distance. We talk to a lot of people at our concerts, and so we hope we're bringing room nights in to our various hoteliers. We had our band staying at one of our local RV resorts this last concert, so we're requesting the $2,000 amount. We as a city don't have the ability to determine room nights or do room night verifications, so therefore we're just going for the minimum and trying to see what we can do as our initial incentive here. Talking about what we've done so far, we had our first concert in April, and we had somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 people, and these estimates are coming from CCSO. CCSO brings all of our security and details to all of our events, so they're always looking at our attendance because they have to determine how many officers are coming the next time to make sure that we maintain the proper safety and order for our events. So we had a great opening event in April. Our second concert was a lot of fun, and CCO estimates we increased that initial up to somewhere between 3,000 and 3,500 people. So we nearly doubled our attendance from April to May, which was fabulous. And I've got a little snippet of a clip here. Is it going to play itself? How does this work? Oh, she's doing it. No sound. We had so much crowd participation. It was fabulous. The kids were dancing. We had an entire bus full of residents from the Key Training Center that were, you'll see in a moment, dancing away the evening. It was amazing, the amount of people. I talked to people from St. Pete, Clearwater, Tampa, Lady Lake, a couple from Daytona, just because I wander and take pictures and videos throughout these entire events. So, lots of fun. Anyway, tons of fun. We also got a lot of local coverage from our Chronicle. Chronicle is one of our sponsors of our soundstage that the city will be purchasing soon. So they've been covering it, and it has just been growing each event. We've got an upcoming set of series. So we had, obviously, April and May. Our 4th of July has now passed, and it was extraordinarily successful. CCSO estimates over 5,000 at that event. We've got another one coming in September, October, and November, and the various bands that we're going to have. We changed genres from event to event, so we'll be switching up and doing a little country in October, and then doing a little Prince in November. Anyway, the attendance is growing constantly, and we would like to keep our events at that 5,000 target. The main reason we want to do this is the downtown activity, and that hopefully boosts all of our tourism, the lodging, the room nights, because a lot of these people are staying overnight. When a concert's from 5 to 9, they want to stay. They're drinking and they want to stay, so they book rooms at all of our local hotels, and they can walk downtown in our entertainment district. I will say that our local bars and restaurants, 2 in particular, have specifically told me that they have reached their highest sales ever during both of those events. So we hope that that continues for them. We very much want to see our downtown bars and restaurants gaining success from what we're driving into their entities. What we'd like to do for the grant is to use this to reach out to some of our target markets, hopefully 51 miles and further out, right? Bring these folks in from Sumter, Marion, Hernando, Pasco, get down into Hillsborough and Orange if we can. But as we expand our reach, we believe our day trippers will turn into overnight stays as well. We want to reach all these regional travelers. We want to encourage overnight stays. And a lot of people keep saying, oh, I didn't know this was here, and I'm going to come back and stay the weekend. They found out about scalloping. No, I've never been scalloping. So we're hoping for those return visits just from a concert series. A lot of people travel for music, by the way. A lot of us do that, including me. I go elsewhere to see music. Currently, we raised over $160,000 to purchase a soundstage and to do the initial concert series. We'll be continuing our fundraising efforts. This last concert, we sold T-shirts, and we raised almost $2,000 just in T-shirt sales to help with the next round of concerts. Concerts are a little bit expensive, by the way. And we'll be looking for local sponsorships from a lot of local businesses who want to see their businesses advertised at our events. Those are some of our existing sponsors who helped us get our stage. Our platinum sponsors specifically and our gold sponsors donated a lot of money to help us do this, and the city is very grateful to these folks. And then in our silver sponsors and in our media partners, these folks, and Paddle Tails is one of them. Paddle Tails and Sweet Citrus Acres RV Resort, they often comp room nights for our bands and for some of our visitors to help us. So it's not always cash that helps us get things going, but we have a lot of partners in these events. This is not the city on its own. And we have an amazing budget that you can't read up there, but we pay for our bands, we pay for our supplies, we have security detail, and all of those things, and advertising is something that we have not tried to raise money for, so we would be most grateful if the TDC would award us this small marketing grant so that we can expand our reach a little bit more. And we believe that this will continue to bring more visitors per event and reach the different regions that maybe we haven't targeted enough yet. And I'll take any questions you might have, and thank you.
I have a rhetorical question.
Certainly.
Are you coordinating the nights of these events and the sort of events you're having with Inverness?
Absolutely. So I reached out to the Parks and Rec Department of Inverness and Sherry Bechtel specifically, and she gave me their entire concert schedule and event schedule, all Inverness events for all of 26 and all of 27. We've already set the 27 calendar to make sure that none of our events conflict with Inverness, and that folks who come to Inverness can come to our events as well, and vice versa. And we cross market quite a bit. They are gracious enough to allow me to come up on stage during a lot of their concerts, and that's how we got our initial attendance the way it was. A lot of the people who came to our first 2 concerts were people who were going to small town Saturday nights in Inverness. And so, yes, we coordinate, and I thank Tom Craig and the city council, as well as Eric Williams. They graciously lent us their soundstage for our first 2 concerts until ours arrives. August 25th is still supposedly the delivery date. And this notoriety is also helping with local businesses. We have a local business right now who wants us to do a Jimmy Buffett Day. And so we're working with that local business to make sure that we can conduct our first annual, which we hope to be something that will become every year. So August 30th, which is a Sunday afternoon, we're going to have a Jimmy Buffett Day downtown. We've hired the Land Sharks, which was one of the house bands for Margaritaville and Key West. It used to play for Jimmy Buffett, this band. So they're going to come and be our band. And that particular sponsor sponsoring the band and the sound, and the city will do the rest of the event like we usually do, and we'll raise money for it. So we look forward to partnerships with the county, with our sister city, and even in the unincorporated cities. If other cities would like to come and promote what they have, it's all about governments working together. That's what we want. We aren't an island, and we don't want to be. We want to have people come here and then go ride the trail or go out to Floral City for the Strawberry Festival or their other things. There's lots of things that people love to do here, and they're usually nature and ecotourism oriented.
Well, I teed that up because I wanted everybody to hear that answer. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for collaborating. That means a lot. It also enables a next step where a more expensive band will come if they can have 2 nights, and one's in Crystal River on Friday and one's in Inverness or in Homosassa on Saturday. And then hopefully we can get some kind of a campaign of weekends in Citrus County to those cities nearby, that here's why you want to come, and pick a hotel anywhere, take 2 or 3 nights, get 2 great concerts, and then go ride your bike, do a hike or paddle.
It's fascinating, and we've gotten some we actually have next year on the schedule a couple of nationwide acts. One is going to come in September. It's Blonde Ambition. They also do Latin Ambition. If you go on YouTube and see their videos, they're going to come in September of 27, and that is also National Hispanic Heritage Month. So we're going to tie that in and make it something special, just because they were willing to. It's a slow period for that particular band. We could never have afforded them, but they've seen the articles. They're in Orlando. They're based out of Orlando. They've already seen some of our coverage, and they want to come. They play the Villages, and they play some other places. They want to come to Crystal River. They're going to come as a band and spend some time there because they like the area, and they're like, oh, we can come and stay there too for the weekend, and we'll play with you, and we'll probably play the Villages that weekend too. Maybe we can get them playing in Inverness as well. So
Perfecto. Gracias.
we are working on those types of things too. Thank you, Max.
Of course, I'm going to be positive about this because it's in the city, but Audra's done a great job. It was kind of a hard thing to get kicked off to do, but I know that you guys helped us a lot in Inverness. And yeah, start tying all that together so that there's more concerts. And it kind of dovetails exactly with what we were talking about earlier, about incentives for visitors to stay longer, to have some of this stuff to do. So it's been really good. So and we're also tying that with a lot of other initiatives that they've been working on. Our entertainment district, allowing people to walk around more with their drinks as they go from place to place. So it kind of helps a lot of the other businesses out. And we've seen businesses expand down Citrus Avenue farther too. So it's working out good. So I say, yeah, I think it's a great thing.
Would you like to make
Thank you, Councilman
Yes,
Ensing.
I would like, if it's not a conflict of interest, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the $2,000 grant for the advertising budget for City of Crystal River and their concert series.
Second.
All right. Motion by Mr. Ensing, second by Mr. Craig. Any further board discussion?
I think this is actually the answer that we've been asked this morning from Floral City and also for Homosassa.
I could totally
Apply for
see
this.
concerts out where they hold the Strawberry Festival.
Yeah,
I miss Rock Crusher.
Right.
Well, and the key to this too is it's a mobile stage.
I will be glad to share with all entities
I wasn't asking that, but I'm saying that's how we were able to borrow their stage, because it is mobile, so we can move it around, so it doesn't create a static, sort of thing in one location.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, Miles. Have they been on standby this whole time? Are they attending?
You're right here.
Oh, they're here. I was like, oh boy.
We were together all day yesterday, so yeah, they are here.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Hannah from Miles. The rest of our team is behind me. We're super excited to be here in person. We have a scalloping excursion later, so really excited, looking forward to that.
Yay.
But yes, I'll be going over the fiscal year 2027 media plan with you all. So starting off, really the purpose here is to develop that integrated fiscal year 27 media plan that promotes that leisure travel for Citrus County, ensuring that we optimize and evolve our strategy year over year based on that historical performance, and also just really capitalize on those emerging opportunities. So an agenda here, we're gonna go over some media objectives, planning parameters, our targeting. The meat of the recommendation really is that tactic and partner overview. We'll have the flowchart and budget, and then end with some discussion, questions, next steps. So starting off here with the traveler's journey, it's supposed to be more animated, but I think it's a PDF. But you can see that on the very left, the traveler journey is often illustrated as this, funnel here moving from awareness to consideration. And these stages are very relevant still, but it's usually portrayed as being linear, just straight from awareness, consideration down to conversion. But in that middle, you'll typically see that travelers typically will stay between the exploration and evaluation or the consideration stage for quite a while, just comparing destinations, seeing which ones they want to go to, before they ultimately make that visitation. So that's why our media strategy is designed to support those travelers really at every stage of this funnel. So we really raise that awareness, nurture that consideration, and then ultimately push them to plan that trip and make that visit. And for our planning parameters, this is a high-level overview of our budget breakout. So timing, of course, starts from October 2026 to September 2027. And then the majority of our investment will be into that paid media. So our digital, our paid social, our partnerships with content and locals, as well as some PR initiatives, international marketing, and some tools needed to execute those campaign performance. So this slide here provides a very high-level overview of how our tactics are aligned with specific objectives. So each one serves a specific purpose throughout our funnel to ensure that we meet our traveler at every stage of that journey. And this year we place a heavier emphasis on that consideration and conversion because, again, we really want those travelers to end up booking a trip to Citrus County. So we have some new entrants into our media mix this year with some new rich media, some content partnerships that I'll go into later slides. In addition, we also will be measuring our success through the funnel as well. We'll measure success differently just because each metric, each tactic is different for each partner and vendor. So starting with awareness, we have partner site engagement, reach. Really exciting that I'll also have a new slide later is a brand lift study. So it'll help us really understand that perception and understanding from the travelers of Citrus County and how we can continue to refine our messaging to them. And then as the travelers move through consideration, we'll track those website engagements, those signals of intent to travel, or you'll see abbreviated as SITs, which are essentially just online behaviors such as they're researching attractions, they're downloading a visitor guide, just really showing that they're planning to travel to the destination and considering that visit. And then finally, we'll have a conversion. So we'll have partners like Zartico, Tourism Economics to really understand the overall impact of our media campaign. Then next for our targeting, our strategy is focused on people who are actively planning or researching travel since they're most likely to make that trip. And so what we call as travel intenders. So we'll prioritize them. And then we'll layer on some geographic and behavioral attributes. And rather than trying to take a one-size-fits-all approach, our overlays that you can see listed in the bottom really allow us to tailor our messaging to people that are most interested in these experiences. So those nature enthusiasts who are into hikes, those trails, event goers, road trippers. So we will make sure that our messaging will be reaching all of these people who are interested in this. For this slide, this is the audience targeting evolution. We did include this in last year's deck as well, but we wanted to include this again just to remind everyone how the audience targeting has changed the past couple years. Really, traditionally, audience targeting has focused on demographics like age, household income, marital status, for instance. And those can be helpful, but they don't really reflect how travelers travel today. So for example, if we had just focused on, specifically adding in families as a targeting identifier, we might miss out on someone who is single, but they are looking for destinations like Citrus County. They are looking for that outdoor place, and they might be going with, extended family or nieces or nephews. So we would essentially be excluding them if we had just done more traditional demographics. So now we're really targeting on that behavior, that intent, those interests. So we can really reach people who are actually wanting to go to these destinations, planning trips like this, so we're not excluding them in our targeting. And really, again, making our media more effective. Then for our target markets here, when we pull together market recommendations, we do a really comprehensive analysis utilizing partners like Zartico, Tourism Economics, Sojourn. We work with our data analytics team to put everything together so it is in a single list that it's ranked from top of destinations that are visiting Citrus County the most. So this allows us also to just capitalize on areas that have the most investment. We don't want to reach everyone in the United States because then we'll be spreading our budgets too thin. We want to be smart, strategic, and effective in who we are reaching. So overall, our recommended markets remain largely consistent year over year, focusing on those insight drive markets, and then also focusing on those national markets as well to drive those extended overnight stays. But for fiscal year 27, we did make some strategic refinements. We, removed some markets that were showing as low performers, Gainesville, Rochester, Buffalo, but then added in ones that were showing at the top of our list. So in market, West Palm Beach is a new entrance. We were seeing many people drive from there to Citrus County. And also Detroit and Chicago. A lot of people were flying from those markets to Citrus County, so we wanted to be sure that we were capitalizing on those traffic as well. And then the campaign flighting, I believe you all have copies of the flow charts. This is just a high-level snapshot of our campaign. It simply is just saying that we will be present year-round, which is important to show that consistent presence to our travelers. Working strategically to maintain presence across all of our different tactics to really maximize both those awareness and conversion opportunities. Okay, so diving into our tactic and partner overview. So our campaign tactics here is a quick list. I do have slides that speak to each tactic specifically, but you can see we have a quite robust mix here, starting with our programmatic with interactive display, native display, and then with some content partnerships, broadcast as well. And then this next slide is more of a budget summary that's broken out by the tactics. And I wanted to just take a moment really to kind of show that we will be continuing with some, past proven partners here. We have Tiny Beans, WFLA, just partners that we know we have been present in and want to continue those partnerships. But we do have some new exciting partners as well for this year. So WSFL, that local broadcast of Florida Panthers. We have Life 360, which you may formerly known as Nativo, but they did recently merge. So we do have access to even a broader audience, which is really exciting there, as well as Purion, which is a very successful rich media partner. But starting off with our interactive display, so display is that frequency builder. We will have this running year-round with our messaging. It is a really great way to be flexible with the messaging so we can align with that seasonality. But also, because it's that frequency builder, we are already capturing people and exposing them to build that familiarity with the destination. So once they are ready to make that trip, Citrus County is already part of that consideration set. And then complementing this is native display. So unlike display that you saw earlier, native allows us to add some copy. It gives us a chance to tell that story of the destination. It blends really seamlessly into the content as well, so it's not disruptive, and we're really able to tell that story of Citrus County, showcase the unique experiences, and again, reach those travelers as they're actively consuming that travel-related content. And then complementing those two, we also have some rich media here. So rich media takes both of those display advertising a step further. It incorporates, interactive elements, motion, just really a way to capture people's attention. And I'm sure you have seen most rich media units before. When you go into a website, it typically will pop up right when you open it, and then you try to X out. So this really helps that, because it only shows up when people are paused when they're scrolling. So it creates a less disruptive experience. People are more engaged and more willing to interact with our ad and then potentially go to that website. So like I kind of hinted earlier, we do have this brand lift study with Lucid. So we negotiated this with Adgenuity, which is our programmatic partner for this campaign. So it is added value, which is really great. And again, it really just brings more to our media placement. So instead of being able to just measure those awareness, that website traffic, we'll see how these campaigns are influencing that perception through that, brand awareness, brand favorability, ad recall. And this again helps us refine that creative and ad messaging. And something that we are recommending to review more on a quarterly basis, so we can really tell that story and really get into the insights to know how to best optimize moving forward. All right. So for Google, search continues to be one of our strongest performing tactics. It outperforms our travel industry benchmarks month over month, driving more clicks at a very efficient cost, generating a lot of conversions. So because of that, we are recommending to continue investing in our always-on search strategy while expanding into additional trip planning content like our places to stay, plan your trip pages. And our main recommendation here is to test out Google's new product, which is the AI Max search. So Miles always is at the forefront of these changes. One of our strengths of our in-house paid, SEM team is that they are staying ahead of that constant evolution of Google's new products. Google's constantly changing their platform, so we always want to be ahead of that and ensure that we adopt those best practices before it becomes a standard. But I wanted to kind of dive in more into what AI Max is, just so everyone has a better idea of what this entails. So currently, Citrus County already uses dynamic search ads, which essentially is just automatically matching travelers or users to the most relevant page on the website. But AI Max takes this essentially a step further. So, with Google, you type in your keyword or phrase, and then our ad will show up based on if it matches whatever you typed in. But AI Max focuses not on the keywords, but more on the intent. So it recognizes what people are actually wanting to search rather than what they typed in. Because I know sometimes I type in something where I don't mean that, and then it shows up something that I actually don't want. So AI Max has become really intelligent in that regard. So for example, someone might be searching up, best places to kayak in Florida. But we have an ad that we know that Citrus County offers kayaking, even though that person never typed in Citrus County at all in those keywords. But AI Max is smart enough to recognize that since we have that content, we have that messaging, it will show our ad to the user. And then another way that this is super seamless as well is instead of just directing them to that homepage, it directs them to the page with kayaking on it. So it doesn't break that user experience, and it's very smooth for them. So essentially captures their attention right away and just ensures that they consider our destination. So we're really just recommending that we establish these practices beforehand before it becomes a standard adoption, just to ensure that we have our brand guidelines and all of that in place. And what's nice too is that we are still in control of our messaging, of our brand guidelines, of the budget, of everything. So AI Max won't necessarily take control of all that. And then this is more of just a visual process of what AI Max is. But essentially, you can see that, vacation, if someone searched in like Citrus County vacation, Crystal River vacation, with AI Max, it will now have the headline that says, plan your vacation now. It will pull in words like planning, vacation, what to do, things to do. So people, when they see that headline, they know that's exactly what they were looking for. They'll click on it and go to that relevant site. And complementing our paid SEM, we also have our paid social or Meta, Facebook and Instagram. Again, our social media campaigns have also been a really strong driver of engagement. Video specifically has consistently outperformed all the other formats, so something that we do recommend moving forward for this next year. But based on these results, we also want to introduce a retargeting and a conversion-focused campaign. Like I mentioned earlier, we do want to push people down the funnel further. So we want to introduce this campaign, show them a different messaging from what they were first exposed to, allowing us to reconnect them and then again push them down further down that funnel. So, get them on the website, but sign up for those e-news, download that visitor guide, and then essentially book that trip. We also have some print here to help with that awareness as well. So partnering, continuing with Outdoor Sportsman Group. We also have some new additional social posts with them, so another way to reach that audience this year, and then continue with our full page in that Visit Florida Vacation Guide. So one of the exciting new partners for this year is the WSFL Florida Panthers, the broadcast partner. So I've become a huge hockey fan over the past couple of years, and I'm sure you all know hockey's been huge. So this is a great way for us to reach, that South Florida sports audience. They're super passionate, super engaged, but also a great way to reach those regional drive markets as well. So for this tactic, we'll have 20 virtual signage placements that are spread throughout the season to really generate that visibility of our destination. You can see here some examples and as well as a mock-up of what that could potentially look like. These stay on for 5 minutes. So we really do have a long time really to get that visibility. And again, because we will essentially be in 20 games throughout the season, we continue to build that exposure to the destination. And for TripAdvisor, which is a content partnership. So TripAdvisor is really one of the top travel partners. People are constantly actively researching and planning on that site. So we really wanted to be present here while they are looking for potential trips. So instead of just having, a single placement with them, we wanted to build a very comprehensive package. So we have this high impact takeover here with some target display, some paid social audience extension. And then with added value with them, we'll also have a Datafy research study. So we'll have another source of insights to really understand how travelers are engaging with our campaign, how we can optimize to inform our decisions. Here you can just see some examples of the ads. And then with Purion, so another new exciting partner for this year. So they are one of our most successful, rich media partners, and we've seen great success with them across our other destination accounts as well. So we are recommending running this page grabber unit with them, which is, I'm going to move to this slide so you can better see. So it will be more interactive. Of course, this is a mock that the vendor built out. But it really just shows the format in action. So when someone lands on that page, so frame 1, the ad will briefly kind of expand to capture that attention. And then frame 2 will be when it transitions into that interactive experience. So from there, users can explore all different aspects of the destination, things to do, dining, events, places to stay, all without leaving the page. So again, we really wanted to tell the story of the destination in a way that was captivating and new. So this is a great way to do that and really engage those travelers. And then with Tiny Beans, we wanted to build upon the success of our partnership this past year. They have been really successful in reaching those families. They are really one of the very few, if not the only one, that's like very family-focused content that people really turn to for destination ideas, planning, trips, and all of that. So similar to TripAdvisor, we wanted to build a very robust package with them. So we have a new branded content article for us to tell that story of the destination. We also have some dedicated e-blasts. These travelers on Tiny Beans are very engaged, so we see very good results in them opening the e-blast, but also interacting with it, clicking on it. And we also have some high-impact ads included with them as well. You can also see examples here as well of all of the placements. And then with Life 360, and like I mentioned, formerly known as Nativo, so they recently merged together, so which is really great because we are able to still continue to have that native custom article with them to have another way to tell the story of the destination. But because of this, we also were able to add some new placements like the Life 360 map banners. Life 360 has over 51 million users to their apps. And close to 25 million are those families, and I believe 30 million are like outdoor enthusiasts as well. So we really are reaching a captivated audience with them, and it's a really great way to break through that clutter with our ad. You can see an example on the right, just kind of where it says that from, I think it says Fresh Air, Fresh Adventures, but that was essentially where our ad will be. So it's a very visible placement. And then we'll also continue and to nurture those custom local placements as well. So, WFLA, the local lines. I know we've had partnerships with them these past years, so just continue to evolve that and just ensure that we continue to nurture those local relationships. Okay. And for that flow chart, so I know this is very difficult to see, but I know you have copies of that, but we just had a slide. This is just more of a detailed breakout of all of our tactics by budget, by month as well. And we wanted to show the funnel breakdown, so really our media evolution. I want to move to this next slide because it tells that better story. This past year, our fiscal year 26, we really focused on awareness. You can see that was really the bulk of our media mix. But like I showed in that beginning slides, that traveler's journey, people are constantly in that consideration phase now. They are constantly, comparing, evaluating the different choices that they all have. So we really wanted to increase our consideration and push them more down to that conversion stage to really get them to, plan a trip. But ultimately, we wanted to be present when they are already in that mindset of wanting to plan, research. So that's why we had more consideration this year, but still ensured that awareness was a strong foundation and focused on that. Okay. And then this slide for KPIs and optimizations really, it's just a snapshot of just showing how our media plan serves a different purpose in the media, in the funnel, showing that we have a presence in all of that. So we measure success, differently depending on its role, but wanting to ensure that, again, when we go through the funnel, we are present in every part of the traveler's journey and ensuring that they are engaging and ultimately plan that trip. Right. So we have next steps here, but I'll just quickly go to Q&A and just pause.
Anybody else need a jogging place to warm up?
Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate that. I'd say one thing to start off. It was nice to see from 26 fiscal year to 27 fiscal year how, clearly we are a discovered destination. So, we'll always have awareness. But I thought it was really important to show that how we are now, before we were so largely 2/3 in awareness campaigns. Now we're coming down that funnel into consideration. So that means, in layman's terms, we're actually converting the dollars into actual bookings, which is really what we want to see with our paid advertising. And honestly, I'm excited to see that we're working with the National Hockey League, the NHL, and the Florida Panthers, and that Life 360. I feel like everybody in my family has it on their phones, so that's a really cool activation as well. So.
He was saying that it's not a lot of time to absorb $1 million budget, and I said, I do this for a living, and I would not feel comfortable critiquing Miles's plan because it is so complex to run all of that stuff. And, you know, you keep performing well, you're going to stay, you're going to keep the contract.
Right.
So I just, I'm not going to get into the weeds on that myself.
Well, I guess
Appreciate it.
first question would be, you base everything on the funnel, and there are other iterations of the funnel that are being used currently and have been for years. Do you use a traditional funnel plan, concept to analyze all of this and program the direction? Or are you doing, I mean, there are a lot of people that don't use the traditional funnel method in determining how to plan the consideration and other parts of the decision-making. So that's just one question. The second is, I noticed that you have Florida Panthers timed out between October and May. But I'm also seeing that, I mean, and we have definite seasons. And I'm seeing, is this budget by month for Google and Meta accurate, or do, okay, so then the third question is, how do you, what's the average age of the target customer? And the last question is, what is the time in advance of the booking target that you use to determine when to put the ads on? So that's where I come back to the budget. I see 2,500 across the board every month, 6,000 across the board every month. Is that a hard number? Is that what you do, just that program? Or do we concentrate on the time when the people are making a decision to come here for scalloping or for fishing and manatees?
Yes. So your first question, I know, was about the framework. So we do have that as more of just a framework. So the funnel we have awareness, consideration, and conversion, but it's not the same. Every destination is different. So we
Heard you
just
say that.
Yes.
I just
so
wanted-
we just use it as more as ensuring that when we build out the tactics, we want to be sure that we have tactics that fill each part. But there's not necessarily, it's not the same for everyone. It's not like I say, let's use TripAdvisor for every single one of our partners, all that. We really do analyze to make sure that it makes sense for the destination. We just use it to ensure that awareness, we have partners there, consideration, we have partners there, conversion, we have partners there. So I hope that answers your
That does.
question. And then your third question, I know, was about the age.
Well, it's like age, timing, and allocation of budget.
So allocation of budget, what you see on the flow chart, essentially it's more for our budgeting purposes to ensure that we're pacing, that we're not going to overspend or underspend by the end of the year. But our budgets will be fluid. So so Meta, programmatic, and all of that, we will pay more when we see people are engaging the most. So especially during the seasons of manatee or scalloping, we ensure that we will be present during those seasons. So it won't be a clean 5,000 per month or anything. We want to be sure that we are there when the people are searching.
And that time where they're searching, what's the time period that you see people starting and then finishing their decision for, say, scalloping, which is a definite July 1st? When-
Right. So tourism economics, the partner we use for data, for instance, we see that people, from the time they're exposed to the ad to when they actually ultimately make a trip to Citrus County, typically we see on average is about 20 days. So that is something that we do use as just like a benchmark to get that messaging out there. Of course, this does change with the messaging we put, the seasonality of that. But I would say the average of 20 days is when we are seeing people booking, especially with more of those regional drive markets.
It's reasonable, yeah. For the long distance, I know with Michael, we've discussed this before. We can't change the mind of someone who's already booked this 9 months ahead of time, and they do it because, and I know friends who do it, because, it's cheaper to get a plane flight any time before 3 weeks, is the minimum to get a plane flight at a good rate. And these people make their decisions 9 months to a year ahead of time for hotel stays and airlines. So, I mean, for scalloping per se, when are we targeting scalloping before the event? And I think this is a wonderful presentation. I'm just asking.
Yes. So I think also this ties into why we are year round as well. So we do have, our scalloping messaging for about, like I believe 5 months, 6 months. So we really want to plant that seed too. So even if we can't get them in during this fiscal, we'll already be planting that seed for this year and hopefully driving them for that next fiscal as well. So I think having that year round presence is really the goal of ours.
And the last question, just then I'm done, is what percentage of this budget is going towards the 74% of our customer base?
It is. Let's see. And I might to get back with you with an exact
I'm not looking
number.
for specifics, but are we focusing on our customer, which is a Floridian?
Yes. I would say more than half. I mean, really, the bulk of our budget is to get those travelers to the market.
Is that still the number, 74%?
I don't know if it's that high. I know between Tampa and Orlando, you're about 46% to 51%. It varies. So those are the big two, and then
when Zartico first came out with the report last summer, it was amazing that it was.
And then
73.7.
Then you add in, Fort Lauderdale or West Palm, Jacksonville. But, let's just say call it 50% is definitely from the Tampa, Orlando market alone.
Right. Okay.
And
so
back in the day, we used to be 20% international, but that's gone down.
Well, I think we're not 20%. No, I think we're in that 14 to 15% range. I think the state is very close to some of those numbers. But we've definitely dipped from pre-COVID. Let's just say it like that. We're definitely different pre-COVID, and then the last couple of years, of course. But we're still at about that 14, 15% from an international standpoint.
I like the way you're spreading the different styles of presentation to different companies, and I mean that's certainly some things attract a user to a click through as opposed to other users see something different. That last thing was the age. Who are we targeting age-wise?
So that kind of ties back to our slides about the audience targeting evolution. So we don't have a clear age. It used to be just ages 25 plus. So we did remove that solely because we didn't want to exclude someone younger than that, but wanting to essentially come to the destination. So we're focusing on their behavior and intent. So we don't have a clear, age or household income. Yeah.
Got that. Thanks.
Okay, so there's 2 points I want to dig down one level on that Tom brought up. The first one is those numbers all look fairly evenly distributed. Are those actual expenditures or is that planning?
For our budget?
Right.
That is, I'm sorry, could you repeat that more? Like,
are they expenditures? Because it's one thing to say we're going to spend $7,000 a month on these 12 things and 14.
Just a bucket.
She answered that question. She said it's fluid. They just put that in as a budget number.
Okay.
Like a placemaker, just to make sure they don't over or underspend.
Yeah.
So that doesn't represent the time window of
Right.
expenditures, which doesn't represent the when the bang will be for that buck.
correct.
Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to know and make clear. And then the second one is, we have 2 distinct problem sets. I know you're aware of it. The first problem set is the long-term visitors, primarily from the far north, that do 6 and 9 months out, plan when they're going to go and where they go, and you're doing a phenomenal job on competing on that. But to whether it's 45% or 72%, the growing amount of our revenue that's coming from Florida and the growing ditch that we have in the summer, are you expending money to consciously get Florida folks to come fill in our gaps as opposed to try to come when we're already overbooked?
So that's one great thing about programmatic too, is during those seasons we can weight our targeting heavier for those in-market folks. So it is something that we can take into consideration just to ensure that we.
Okay, I know you can, but are you? That's the question. Because planning is one thing and execution is another.
Yes, something we can do. Yes.
Okay, you just said can do again.
I'm sorry. What is your question again?
Two specifics. We've got the long-term strategic, primarily north folks, but to the problem set of the 45 to 75% of our revenue that comes, are we consciously targeting using that more to fill in the shoulders and the summer?
Yes.
And so the expenditures would
Support that. Yes. Just also in that note, that's a great point you make. Can you start with that with Tracy, please? This is a campaign that Miles created for us for this summer, right? And you're talking about like those lull periods and reaching those drive markets, essentially from the Florida markets. And when we think of Florida in July and August, what's one word you think of, Max? You think of Florida in July and August, what do you think? Okay, I love it. Hot. People say miserable. People say I hate it. I'm not going. Well, we've come up with a cool-cation because now you're 72 degrees year-round. You can come and take a cold plunge. And if you see this digital ad that you're going to be passing around, it's take the plunge. So this actually answers your question in regards to what are we doing to specifically target some of these people. And this is just one of the things that we're doing.
Great.
Good.
Thank you.
If I may add just a little bit to this, we handle, my firm handles a world-renowned brand that makes almost all of its money from Thanksgiving to Valentine's. And there is no affecting anything else, right? So when we present our budget, it's very similar to what they do, is that they're round numbers. It's 50,000 in December, which is the prime season, little like 40,000 in November, drops in January, high level for Valentine's, and then the rest of the year it's 5,000. That's it, right? But then when you see the actuals, it's going on online behavior. That's essentially what programmatic is that it is going, the folks that are managing it are looking at what those online behaviors are, and they're leveraging when there are things happening, and that might make it go higher than that amount, and then if it's not, it goes lower. And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you have, 6,000 per month or whatever for one particular channel, the reason it would be flat is that we are already overrun typically during the heavy season, and we are trying very hard to support our businesses with shoulder and summer.
And I understand that, but I would like to be in the point where, okay, we have this plan this year. If we were to next year also have a slide that's got what do we actually expend during those periods, and see that we are in fact spending to get the result, I would be more comfortable.
And I love this, by the way.
Thank you.
It's great.
So we're excited about that.
And I do think you're doing an excellent job, and I thank you for it.
Great question. No, we're excited about, again, to hit your point on some of these shoulder seasons and where the lull is, and we really feel. I'm super excited about the cool-cation and the taking a plunge because.
That's because you came up.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
He did though.
It's great.
Next topic. Hannah, this was amazing. We are really excited about this next phase, and I'll add to this. You guys really haven't seen anything yet because we had an amazing session, a think tank. I'm going to call it, for almost 8 hours yesterday with the Mouse Partnership team, and we're going to be doing some exciting things and some recreation of messaging to further penetrate the market and to show that Citrus County is the place to be and the place to visit going forward.
Excellent. Any other questions, or someone want to make a motion?
I move to vote.
To vote?
Where is the wording?
It's just a motion to approve the.
Move we approve the Miles media plan presentation for FY 2027.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Craig, and there was a photo finish. Sensing for the second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. And before you depart on your scalloping thing, I'm going to jump ahead and say something that I wanted to say that is more appropriate under other business by council members. Because we have a lot of marketing brains in the room, I want to tell you that Citrus County was selected to present at the Raleigh Land Conservation Conference. There's about 1,500 employees in Denver in September, and I will be the leadoff hitter. We're expecting 50 to 60 to come to our workshop, and I will be the leadoff to say, welcome to Citrus County. And because the audience is going to be asked to be residents for the 90 minutes of Citrus County and vote on which of our priorities in a green print that they would want to conserve and how would they fund it and things like that. They have my presenting partners with North Florida Land Trust and Trust for Public Land want swag for 50 to 60 people. So I would like to have a little competition, Mr. Hoynes, between Floral City, Inverness, Crystal River, and Homosassa to let's get some really good swag in there for everyone. These are folks that are into conservation, so I also think a little secondary target would be getting them to come visit us.
And the conference is where again?
It's in Denver.
Denver, yeah. Awesome.
It's 1,500.
And we'll be a part of that and making sure we'll put together some nice bags for the 50 to 60 Citrus County residents there in Denver. So we're excited to be a part of that. And
I just wanted to let all of y'all know in case you have any brilliant ideas to leverage this more, that would be great. I am going to need some help with the 7 slides with photography.
Okay, sure. I'll get Nick on that.
You just got voluntold.
All right.
All right, thank you.
So we'll go ahead and try to bring this home a little bit since we're long here.
26 minutes. Go.
Right, there it is.
They didn't vote.
Oh, no, they voted.
We voted.
Yeah, we voted.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
We did.
In front of you,
Voted.
you have the latest annual report.
Don't confuse me.
In front of you, have the latest annual report. You also have a budget as well, just from a comparison from the last couple of years. You guys can see that, proposed, actual, and that'll give you a good idea what's right underneath the annual report that Michael Mankey that you requested for last meeting. So at least have that. And with the county, it's some challenges in the way they do the budget. So we did the best we could, but that definitely gives you a snapshot on how we fall in line on an annual basis. I feel like we're very comfortable and very in line with that. So we're excited about the annual report as well. Of course, we had Miles Partnership graciously did the presentation today. Very well done. So thank you for that to the Miles team. And we also have the new summer campaign, which I just showed you. I had to kind of, Max kind of stole my thunder, so I had to kind of flex the muscle there a little bit and let you know how we're doing, okay? All right, hey, Max, no more, okay? All right.
No, next time.
Now I'm going to show you some TD sponsored events for Pirates Cove, America 250, and there's some new videos, and then I'll end it there. This is really cool moment for our destination, for our community, because of America just turned 250 years old. The TDC, we sponsored the America 250 because we knew that people from around were definitely going to be coming in to each of these communities, seeing what we had to offer, and we offered 250 plus another zero, meaning $2,500 to the Homosassa Area Council, the City of Crystal River, and the City of Inverness in that support. We're excited to be a part of that, and we're going to continue and engage not only our incorporated areas, but our unincorporated areas as well, because we know that's important, and we were excited to be a part of that. And here you see the big old checks that were presented at BOCC, and we're all there. I see Holly right there, and we had a good time. So thank you to the City of Inverness, Crystal River, and the Homosassa Area Council for just honestly being great partners and putting on amazing shows for those who did not see it, there were some amazing fireworks there for
Was
sure.
that a suitcase camera? I didn't even see we were getting photos.
Yeah. Tom. I think Tom was thinking about his 4 questions that he's going to ask Miles' partner. I couldn't resist.
My outdoor laugh. That was funny.
I couldn't resist, Tom. I couldn't.
That was funny.
By the way, great questions, though. Great questions. Here, this is our, our little award that we created for the $2,500. Actually, I can't take any credit for this. Christina Lamb, our graphic designer on staff, she actually made this, so I appreciate that. So that was really cool. And, Commissioner Kennard, I'm going to give him a lot of credit here.
This was amazing. I was there.
He came to me and he had an idea of how important Pirates Cove is, not only to him but to the community, which was purchased using some TDC funds, and we were a partner in that as well, because it is going to be a park that stays a park for visitors and residents to enjoy as well. But a part of that, we had an adopt a redfish program, and we want to adopt 100 redfish at $100 each, and each fish came with a gift certificate, or at least a minimum of a $50 prize with that, and we got tons of support. One of the platinum sponsors is Paddletail Waterfront Lodge and Plantation, Mr. Michael Mankey. I got to give you a lot of credit there. I know Luann Jacobs was a part of it as well, sponsoring. Am I missing anybody here? Who was that? Oh, Mr. Mark Dossie, Homosassa Distillery, also known as our 9th employee. I would say All Serious Societies has one of the best distilleries in the entire state of Florida. So it's amazing to partner with him. And then I want to say he also, he does a lot. Mark, I feel like Mark is out more than me at businesses. So I'm trying to figure out, is he coming for my job or not? But he's a good person to work with. But I want to just thank all the sponsors who did that event. We had our release event out at Pirates Cove. It was 100 fish. I think they range from the smallest is like 14 to 15 inches. The largest, 28 to 30 inches. They were huge. I know Commissioner Davis was out there. Of course, Commissioner Kennard. We had a good gathering. Our sponsors, our main sponsors for the event was CCA, Duke Energy, the Chamber of Commerce, who has a $500 fish. So if you catch that, you call into our offices and they can claim these prizes. So we have anywhere from $50 gift cards all the way up to a $500 cash prize. So, and I think right now we're up to about 7 fish that have been caught. So we have a spreadsheet in the office. So we're receiving calls, we're starting to receive calls now, especially on Mondays, and then we're also noticing there's other tagged fish out there that are not a part of this. Yeah. So it has to be this particular program, but it was a success. I think it brings awareness, and all the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, go to Pirates Cove, nothing else. So and I was excited about that. So Commissioner Davis, you want to say anything about that, or good? All right.
Covered it.
Okay, the last thing I have for you is just some videos, some cool videos. We try to do our best to email you guys as TDC to talk about, to show you, hey, this is something cool we just did. It's always the Nick and Steph show, and that's what it's going to probably remain to be, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. And so the first video is, we took our annual report and we made it video.
What is the top question that you generally get asked?
What can we do here?
It's a great point.
Yeah.
What can we do here? The possibilities are endless. You can see manatees. You can go stand-up paddleboarding. You can swim in our amazing springs. It's all these awesome things that really showcase why tourism matters here in Citrus County. So today, our video today is discovering something that's a little different. Not necessarily an activity, but we're gonna be discovering why tourism matters here in Citrus County. Are you ready to talk about some tourism?
I am.
Who isn't these days? Let's get into it.
Cruising down the nature coast.
It's our new song, by the way.
Finding places locals love the most. From hidden gems to hometown pride, come discover what's inside. Come on, let's discover. Local chefs, local flavors, small-town treasures we'll discover together.
First and foremost, the important thing when you're talking about tourism is how it impacts the people who live here 365. 24/7 because we love our residents, we care for our residents, and they make this place incredible. But tourists make this place incredible too because they save residents over $500 a year in tax spending because those taxes are coming from tourists. Pretty cool fact.
Yeah, I'm a resident, so.
And so you don't have to spend that $500.
I don't, yeah.
$500 plus.
Goes to the
look at
cats.
that. Yeah, it goes to the cats. It goes to the cats and it goes to more rutabaga smoothies.
Right.
And that's important.
Yeah.
So listen, we just did a snippet. I think it's about a 5 to 7 minute short, right, on YouTube. Raise your hands if you've seen the whole video. This is when you raise your hands. Chris, just go ahead and raise it, Chris.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Thanks. But we wanted to do something different. You know, it's cool to have an annual report and print form, and all destinations do this, and this is fine. But we wanted to make it more relatable. And they did an amazing job. You see all the personality that Stephanie has in the video, and Nick is a downer in the video the whole time. But no, listen, honestly, those two make us look good, and we appreciate them. We're excited to continue to support the businesses, and clearly from some of the comments in the audience, there's still opportunity. There's still more that we can do. We're listening, and we'll continue to achieve that. Now, go ahead.
Spotted something that I'm not sure I saw, but if I did, I would lodge a protest for using that. When it said go into our Florida Springs, I could swear I saw a decent amount of Lingbia in that little clip.
A little what of?
Lingbia.
Oh.
That was inside Three Sisters, so that's where we got the video. So
Yeah, I'm just saying that try to always be aware of that
Okay.
because we were trying to eradicate it.
absolutely.
And when I dropped into the first time I dropped into Hunter Springs after it was like 2009, it was horrific. 10 years later, I went back for my rescue diver cert, and they said we're going back to Hunter Springs. I'm like, oh please God no. 'Cause it was so horrible.
Okay.
And I dropped in, and it was nothing but eelgrass. It was- and it was stunningly clear water because it was nothing but eelgrass, and there were manatees everywhere. It was beautiful. So there are other places to really illustrate, you know, the beauty of that.
Totally.
It's like going into Rainbow River, and they have a very healthy bottom.
Right, and not to interject, but that's just one snippet of dozens of videos that I've done of different clear springs and things like that. So
I just wanted to make
yeah,
sure
no,
that
I appreciate you letting
were
me know.
aware
Yeah.
of that because
Absolutely.
we've gotten millions and millions and millions of dollars from the state to
For sure.
eradicate Langbia and plant rockstar eelgrass.
Yeah, and we've also done content with Save Crystal River on some of the
Yeah.
efforts they're doing to replace their eelgrass. So definitely, that's something that's top of mind whenever.
Okay,
that type of
super.
stuff.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I think it's a great video.
And just more of an impromptu video of our ad in regards to the cold plunge. I'll play one more video for you guys.
I saw this one.
Guys, I don't care how magical this place is. It's so hot. I wish there was a place to cool off. Why does Florida have to be so hot? Wait a minute.
Sundress with you on my arm. Take the coupe out the garage, pull the roof back, just me, you and the stars.
That's Langbia there at the top.
Yeah.
Looks like nuclear green cotton candy. Ugh.
So so Nick was at Disney, and I guess he was really hot, and he was looking for a place to cool off.
And that's brilliant, by the way. Well done, Nick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well done.
So and by the way, I think officially he was actually on vacation that day when he did that. So when I say tourism is 24/7 for our staff, it is truly a 24/7 job. He was
That was a really good idea.
literally on vacation with his wife. I'm sure his wife was like, "Are you really working right now?"
But you might need some special insurance now. I'm just saying. People get hurt when they talk about Disney.
I didn't say their names, so we don't know where that is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. I'll pass it down. Here we go.
Oh, this is for me?
Yep.
I'm in control. All right, you got these numbers when it was sent out for the off month, but we can just look to see that we are slowly, is this thing on? We're slowly gaining some traction. That number at the bottom, the red number, was at -7 at 1.7%. So that number's dwindling. We'll go on to March, which you also had. The newest numbers, and that's year over year, show, where'd my April go? I had April numbers in there. Okay. I don't have that with me.
That's his April.
Well, I know, but I had April revenue numbers in there too. It's in your packet. I apologize.
It's not.
Yes, it is in.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. The comparison. Yeah.
How long do they trail from the actual?
The state. So the monies are collected. So for April, on May 1st is when the collection date is, and then in June is when the distribution is. So we get the money in June. We don't even get the numbers until June.
The numbers reflect 2 months before business.
3.
3. Okay.
This money was collected. These people stayed. This was our bed tax collection for the month of April. So I won't have May until the end of this month. So, but you can see that we're actually year over year in April, we're 6.5% or 6% over where we were in the previous year for that month. So it's trending, and feeling good about the international market as well as having an impact on that. We're seeing a lot more international travelers in our Welcome Center, and we'll have Miss Kelly speak to that later. You can see in April occupancy month versus 2025, occupancy was down a bit, ADR was down, and RevPAR was also down, but you can also see, and I wish that had been in red, negative numbers all across our comp set. So we're not really trending that far differently. It's just an overall down month for the state.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's really small. Thank you, Nick. You're so wonderful. And then for the month, for year to date, we are coming back a little bit. You can see those numbers are dwindling in the negatives, becoming a larger positive number eventually. And this is May. And because we get the STAR report earlier than we get the revenue numbers, so you'll always see this slide a little bit sooner than the revenue. But for May, you can see we were up. Our average daily rate was actually down. Maybe that had something to do with the occupancy. Michael Mankey will argue that with me. But overall, you can see how we're doing with our comp set. We're gaining some ground there. And May, there's an extra H in May. May was, sorry about that. Mama didn't get a typo fixed. Citrus County tourism year to date, we're still down year over year, about 8% as far as occupancy goes, 14% on ADR, and as is, you can see all the red on that far right column. So not good that we're red, but we are in good company. Here you go. Would you like this?
That's so sweet of you. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Wow. Morning, everyone. As you saw with some of our videos, we are out and about. We're trying to stay busy by showcasing the county. It's been a ton of fun for everybody who's started to follow all our socials, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Really do appreciate it. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. I've just been so giddy about that. So I'm hoping that that continues as we get closer to that number, because that will be a ton of fun. And then when we're talking about social media comparison, we've been in this battle with Amelia Island for followers for so long, where we flip between 3rd and 4th on this list. We are now in 3rd right now. We just passed them. And at last check, we've now gone a couple hundred more than them right now. So I'm hoping that continues. We're going to keep posting some fun content, making sure that people are watching and enjoying some of the stuff that we're up to and some of the great things that the businesses offer here. And then you can see some of our insights as well. The followers continue to be positive, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. And then the link clicks or reach is pretty substantial as well. We're seeing several dozens of thousands of link clicks, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, and then the reach is well over 100,000 in April, just under 100,000 for Instagram and May. And again, with Instagram, we only have, what was that, 45.5K of followers, and our reach is over 100,000. So that's been really rewarding and a ton of fun to do. So yeah, that's all I got.
How do you split the 935 between Steph subscribers and Nick subscribers?
Hey, I like to think of it as that I just do the behind the scenes work, and it's mainly for Steph. Yeah, it's mainly for Steph, and that's understandable because
you're at the front of the.
I talk way too much, so they're like, "Oh, thank God, he's not talking anymore."
Like
so.
DiCaprio, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, thankfully, Cruisin' Tiki's was pretty fantastic there, and they threw ice at us and all that. It was a blast. But if you haven't done Cruisin' Tiki's, Homosassa or Crystal River, you need to do that. But
yep. New Smyrna, I did.
You have the con.
Oh, this slide looks different than what I changed last night at 5 o'clock. But anyway, so we're reporting on March and April. So I had Insider Magazine here from Texas, and then Georgia Family Fun. Those are a couple photos of Georgia Family Fun. They were fun. They were fun. Yes, I actually went to the Tipsy Tarpon with them in the top picture, and those kids were all. They had a good time. They went down in the Chaz, and they sent us videos. Remember yeah, we got a lot of followers from their visit. And then what else do we have on there? Looks like Terry had a sales mission that was here from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and some German trade managers working with Tampa Bay. So yeah, we've had a lot going on. I do have a list of like the partners that we use for like the March and April visits that I had. We worked with, oh, sorry, you can't hear me. Kings Bay Lodge, Wild Bill's Airboat Tours, Cove Pub and Grill, Breakfast Station, Water's Edge Adventures, Tipsy Tarpon. It was the Bayside Seafood Grill when we went there. Ellie Schiller Wildlife State Park, Three Sisters Springs, Crump's Landing, Paddletail Waterfront Lodge, Crystal River Kayak Company, a Riverfront Social, which, yes, the new Bayside. Anyway, Mer Taylor's Mermaid Aquarium, Waterfront Social, Bubba Q's Barbecue, Crystal River Mini Golf, Waterfront Adventures, Cattle Dog Coffee Roasters, both Crystal River and Inverness. And yeah, that's about enough on that slide. And for the PR reports in March, 456 million impressions, 57,000 views, 846 engagements. And then for April, another good month, 570 million impressions, 609,000 views, and 20,000 engagements. So there we go.
How much does Miles get this information, or do we get it from them?
I get this from Hayworth PR.
Right, but I mean, how much do they know about like promotion to Brazil, or if the numbers are going up because?
Yeah, they have all of it. We have weekly meetings with them, with both Miles and Hayworth. We kind of have that joint group meeting.
Yep.
And that's it from us.
Great.
Well, on behalf of Max and Tom and myself, I will say that we had a fabulous time last week at the historic courthouse reading part of the Declaration of Independence and having Patrick Henry and
Dolly Madison.
Thank you, Dolly Madison impersonators do literally like 40-minute life stories of their character without notes and in character, like really crazy, each individually, not going interplay. And it was really, and so thank you for that invitation, gentlemen. I appreciate being included. Any other business from anyone?
Just a thought, you know, the plans are great, but we also need to watch tactical opportunities. World Cup so far is going exceptionally well. It's particularly going to repair our relations with a lot of people. So, for example, I would love to see an ad in Edinburgh, Glasgow, and Inverness that says Tartan Army welcome here, period. If you haven't watched what's going on with them in Boston and a couple of other places, there's got to be something that y'all can come up with that will capitalize on bringing back a little bit of, and particularly Scotland's always done well by us.
Okay. All right.
Food for thought.
All right. Nice. Thank you.
Just for Inverness, summer of 250 is the whole summer, so 250 is not done.
All right. Loud and clear.
And my little writing project hit 200 subscribers in 4 months, which is pretty large rise. Two things. One, a Nat Geo photographer wrote me an astoundingly flattering recommendation. But then yesterday, I picked up Smithsonian Air and Space Museum photo editor as a subscriber.
Nice.
So it occurs to me, because I've written about my trips to the Galapagos and to Philippines, I might want to write some stuff about my backyard.
That's a great idea.
Okay, so I will be collaborating with y'all on that, but I'm going scalloping.
Not pay content creators, by the way. So.
I am
Pet
not
stories,
angling
no
for
pet
that at
stories.
all. No, this is just me being supportive of the land I love, right? And you just totally derailed my train of thought on that. Oh, I'm going scalloping with family
Nice.
on this coming Saturday.
I went scalloping and we limited 10 gallons.
Good.
4 hours, 4.5 hours.
Good.
Um,
It's good to
where
hear.
are we with the district development?
We just finalized everything with our collections and everything. We're looking. There may be a small hiccup in Charter County versus whether there may be some hiccups in that. So we're kind of discussing that now to see if there is still an opportunity for us to develop it, which I think it still is.
I hope so, because besides sports fields, this could actually
Oh, I know.
go to land conservation.
Yeah.
Which would be huge for this county, because I share the concerns of the constituents with we need to keep the nature in the nature coast.
Okay. All right.
All right. Anything else?
Just to put a finer point on it, even though buying decisions are made within a short period of time sometimes, the planning decisions are often made months and months in advance when you're sitting around at Thanksgiving, what you're going to do next summer, what you're going to do. So abandoning an ongoing messaging of all the things that we do just to specify on a perfect area, yes, use that to close the deal, but don't abandon what they're already doing in planning, which is to plant the seeds year-round for year-round decision-making, because not everybody makes all their decisions at the same time.
Correct.
That's why PinSource puts an ad in every airline magazine, every single episode for the last 20 years. Consistency. No, I get it. I just wanted to know if we had some kind of
Right.
fluidity.
Yep.
And we do.
Thank you. Great comments. All right.
All right.
I just like to say on behalf of the city of Chris River, we appreciate the fireworks help out. That was a good thing, and supporting the concert initiative that we've been working on, because it's really turned into a great thing. It's helping out the local businesses quite a bit, so we appreciate it.
And
Well
Inverness,
deserved.
Inverness, we lit your 2,500.
I know you did.
Yeah, that doesn't take long, does
Set
it?
it right up
So you
to-
smoked it up, right?
Blew it up.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else? We're sticking the landing. 11 a.m. We're adjourned. Oh, God bless it.
Uh-oh.
Mark.
I got all excited. It was 11 o'clock.
11:01.
There was more uh-ohs right there than there should have been. I heard two
Yeah.
people say uh-oh.
It's just your comedy is so much better than all this is. He's already been damaged today.
Cutting into my throat.
No, the uh-oh was about me, not you.
No, I haven't even put the.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I attended one of these. Thanks for all the hard work you guys do. I mean, every day. You all know who I am, so there's no need for advice.
You do. You actually do, for the record.
Homosassa Distillery, Mark Dawsey.
Thank you.
There you go. So, I sit here and I listen to it, and I think a lot of it's a great points going across the board. What I still did not hear today is what exactly are we going to do from April 30th to when scallop season comes. And that's with a problem, right? We don't have to worry about resources and we don't have to worry about people when we're busy. Where we have to worry about is the game plan, what we're going to do for that short period of window, which is 4 months. You know, that you got your April is about the time the first part of the snowbirds head north, okay? So you got April, May, June, July. And now somewhat August, because they don't really come back until October, right? And that's when the season picks up. We have scalloping season that's here now, so we can kind of start going into there. But I sat there on my phone, and I kept hearing about this 50-mile thing, and it's a state statute, and I'd like to have that state statute because I want to read it myself. But I also noticed that when I looked at this, I Google searched on the map Homosassa to villages, Crystal River to villages, and those are at 53 miles and 51 miles, okay? So they're in the window. I think the villages is an area that's unlike any other place other than maybe Arizona, where they have a tremendous amount of elders that have moved from the north down into these areas, and they started coming down in their trailers, and now they bought into the village and they stay. There's trailers all over the place that are in these different associations that are parked in stationary, not moving, because they don't have anywhere to go with them. I think an ad campaign into the villages, unless I'm wrong, and the only reason why I think I would be wrong was, do we look at Citrus County as a border, or do we look at it as a destination? Because it's a border, therefore you can't go because the next county is close to there. Well, then my conversations.
Or the equestrian.
So the conversation's pretty mute at that point because it's a border situation, not the location of the sign. Okay. But I'd like to see the statue. But really, you know, when I look at business every single day, I've been in it in this world of distilling for a short period of time, but I've been in business for a long period of time. Sometimes you have to spend a little money that's needed, and i.e. like when I give away product at my distillery at a percentage loss. I'm still doing that because I'm increasing the potential of people coming through the door. And sometimes if we can look at if there's any kind of way that we can spend some of that money. Look, the villages is a bubble, right? They're a bubble of expendable money that those people are out there every day trying to figure out what to do. They've done a tremendous job in the villages by entertaining these people, but a lot of people want to slip outside that bubble and go do something and come back home. If we can look at the heads on beds aspect of it, these people will leave for a couple days and come and stay and then go back to where they're at. It happens every single day. The reason why the RV parks are full right now is there's staycation people that are close enough inside the radius of 50. So the young man said earlier that these people were inside the radius of it. Ray, you said it was, 51% or 50% of the people, or 50 of the people out of the 53 were actually close. If we could figure out how to get some of those people, I think that the numbers that we see on tourism across the board every single month would be increased tremendously, because just the villages alone, as they cross over the turnpike, is in a massive amount of people that we're not even able to tap into because of this 50 rule.
Well, we've talked about the villages multiple times, and your 3 minutes is up, but you invest so much in, I'm not cutting you off, but go.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at Mark at all for this, because I think the villages is definitely a huge community. I mean, I know they come here and they even come in buses and stuff. So, maybe it's something we can do creatively, to better market toward them. Whether it's maybe we can do something more creatively with our social media angles and stuff like that, versus paid media and stuff. But I think it's some things we can creatively do to figure that out. So,
well, we do book presentations in the villages, and their clubs are unbelievable. They have hundreds, like 200 people in their paddling club, more than that in their hiking club, and we go in to make a presentation. We're sitting in front of 100 people. So that's a personal move, like Homosassa going in and talking to the kayak club.
I'm not here representing Homosassa in the concept of what I'm saying. I'm here representing
it's an
the concept.
Important one, because I think we're always hung up on what you can spend bed tax money on, but our county can spend money on whatever we want. And an investment, let's face it, empty stores is not good for tourism. Businesses go out are not good for tourism. we don't do a great job on economic development, but the idea of taking some money from someplace other than bed tax shouldn't be shocking, if that's what it takes to do. And I'm not convinced, I'm not an expert, but the pure definition of tourism counts other counties. There's a planning thing with the 50 miles, and it's good to take a look at it. But if it in fact is prohibited, then we need to find a way to get some money, because there's too much available, not just in the villages, but in Denellen, Ocala, in areas that are close, but they're outside of our county, and it's money we need inside of our county.
Well, but the trail, we're promoting without the TDC or the county or anybody. We're just promoting Facebook, but we have 14, 15,000 followers, and I make a post and we get 150 hits in an hour. But that's the way to go, is to market, somehow get the organizations like Floral City and Business, Downtown Business, to do some kind of social media plan.
And if you're angling that BOCC would be asked to support something like that, I can tell you right now that is an absolute political no-fly zone. So
Well, then we need to work on getting a 501(c) that can do this kind of stuff, because you can't leave that much low-hanging fruit and have the gaps we've got in the shoulders. I mean,
the only thing we could do, and that's, again, could be a third rail topic, is we can put it, anytime we poke that bear, we risk losing tourist dollars altogether with the state, so we try not to bring it up at Florida Association of Counties to go lobby the state to change the rule, because anytime you open that door, you let them start doing crazy things like eradicating it, which has come up a few times.
So then your suggestion would be similar to what they're doing in Floral City, is have a conglomeration of businesses in an area come together to do it.
Yes.
And then apply for, like what Audra applied for, a $2,000 grant on an event that happens in that time period to support advertising.
It's just a shame that the amount of expendable money that's so close to us that are handcuffed over something kind of rule that's there.
Right.
I think the board is unanimous in supporting that statement, but
We go to the national convention. I went last year with Avis, and you know, there's a lot of different ways of doing this kind of setup, but we are what we are.
I love the idea of, for example, Homosassa businesses have already come together, hooked on Homosassa, right? So
It's Chamber.
Is that Chamber? Okay, well, sorry. In any event, having an event during those shoulder seasons where you want to pull people, and then you can come to us for a grant, just like City of Crystal River did. So, right, that's all legal to advertise that event
in that period of time.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah. I'm not asking for money. What I'm asking is
focus.
Yeah, but I think, again, I'll end it here. I think it's opportunity here that we can still be creative through our social media channels, though, that we can, target some of those, those markets, because that's not really, what Nick and Steph do. We can do some creative things there and figure some things out. Again, I think it's opportunity. There's definitely not trying to ignore the villages or Ocala or anything of that nature, because we know they're coming. It's just how we can be more intentional in getting that message across to them. So,
thank you.
Certainly,
And by the way, Mark, I'm sorry. I don't actually go out all that much, so don't take it as that I haven't been in your fine establishment, but I'm going to put it on my.
You've been there before.
Yeah, but I haven't been there in a while, so I need to.
No, that's nothing to do with. I understand. I want to see that statute, because I tried to find it, and I want to see that statute. And if it's a border to border, well, then we got a problem. It's a null question if that's truly what it is. I was looking at from township to that location, as well as to what I looked at. But
we were looking at horses and trying to promote horse business at one point, and found out that it's just too close.
It's border to location. Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
I just think it's such low hanging fruit. Those people got a ton of money up there, and they're tired of playing golf. They want to go somewhere.
Thank you, sir. Always appreciate seeing you and hearing you. Anyone else? Open to the public. Okay, I don't want to screw up again.
11:11.
We are adjourned.
Good number.
Who's pen?